Anyway,
So I just put us live on YouTube, so we're good to go. Um,
yeah.
I'll be back very shortly. So you guys hammer it away.
While
Right
trading
on.
involves a substantial risk of loss, past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. If you trade those things, you might lose money. Trade anything, you might lose money. Your mileage may vary on hiring somebody to help you. Be careful out there. Jack and I strongly advocate for you just to learn this stuff on your own. Take a vested interest in your own financial well-being. You'll do better than anybody else will do for you. You'll make the best decisions for you and your account better than anybody else will or can.
That's right. You can do it.
You can do it.
Whole lot of red going on.
Oh man, look at this IBIT
Whole,
chart.
whole lot of red instead.
Jack, who was fading me on IBIT? I tell
You
you,
were doing it.
look at that. Look at her go.
You called it.
Had that debit spread. It's up 100% already. If anybody did this, let us know.
Wow, wow, wow. That was just yesterday, right?
Oh, we were talking about that last Friday, actually. Last
Oh,
Friday.
okay. Yeah.
So I gave you a couple days to get in. I mean, it rallied up a little bit today and then, or this week, and then here we go. Lower
Yeah.
low than right here, which means we're on a path to make lower low than we did back at Thanksgiving.
Where's where's Bitcoin?
Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin, it is down at 84,000.
All right, so I'm telling you, this is going to be hard, hard, hard on MSTR and may cause an unwinding of MSTY. Been saying it, the weaker this gets. Let's see, where is MSTR now? Or how low do you think Bitcoin can go right from here?
75 is really the where I expect buyers to come in, step in. But look at that MSTR getting punched in the face right there.
You know, I don't know where was I talking about it, 220, 240. I wanted to short it, cover 200 now. I didn't think it'd get to 150. Now look at this.
Yeah, I think it's coming on down to 120.
It's going to be really serious problems. Real serious problems.
Yeah, that's and then MSTY. I don't know if MST like I don't know. MSTY is option. Yeah, look at that getting punched.
Oh,
It's a long option strategy. That's down
mm, mm.
11% one day.
Boy, that's a real killer.
But look at MSTX
Uh,
down 20%. That's a 2x leverage on MSTR.
wow.
That thing's gone from, this is why I always say be careful on these leveraged instruments. This thing's gone from a high back here of 200 to $3 as MSTR has dropped from its high of 540 to 142.
Yeah, I wonder how a Bitcoin liquidation would affect the Bitcoin market or if it's big enough to handle it.
I don't know. I mean, Saylor says he's trying to hit 1 million Bitcoins in his treasury, and the dips are just buying opportunities, is what he keeps saying. So I don't know. He's up. He only needs about 200, what, 270,000, 280,000 more Bitcoins to get there. He was trying to hit it. If you listen to him, he was trying to hit it by the end of 2025, and he did, came up short, obviously. But now he's trying to get there. So the MNAV on those Bitcoins 0.85. So the company's value right now is is valuing the Bitcoin at 85% of its face value.
Hmm. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. That's going to be an unwinding problem.
So should be interesting to see what happens.
A reverse split on MSTY, delisting of MSTR, liquidation of Bitcoin could be a little bit of a ripple effect.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I don't know if MSTR has got a long way to go before it gets delisted.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, long way to go before it gets delisted, but not maybe not too long before something major happens negatively.
Let's see, MTS. Yeah, I can't remember the. Hold on. Gotta click on. It's STR. Yeah, they've got these other. They've got all these series of shares, like their perpetual A series. Just keep getting pummeled. These have an 8%. Supposed to be an 8% guarantee yield or something like that. STRF. That one's also getting punched in the face. STRC is supposed to be their stable coin, and it decoupled again off of off of 100. So people aren't confident it's going to keep paying the dividend.
There you go. That's the beginning.
You know, the dividend's pretty high, but I don't know. They're gonna have to raise the dividend again to try to attract more people. At least that's the charter. And I don't know. It looks like we're decoupling.
Yeah, that's I'm saying this is a bad situation with the old Bitcoins.
So
It just should have, with all the speculative buying in precious metals and things like that, you would have thought Bitcoin would have had some action other than just weakness. It's like people are giving up on it a little bit, pulling money out of it, putting it back into what's moving.
that's the
I'm
whole thing about
surprised.
the market. That's the whole thing about the market. We talk about that all the time. You would think they would all go together, but in reality, if money's not moving, it's not making money. That's the way the big boys do it. We've always got to move from whatever was making money into whatever's gonna make money, and you got to be moving the money. If the money's not moving, it's not making money. I mean, that's the bottom line. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a key thing I've learned in the markets. Whatever's the hot thing this year is not going to be the hot thing next year, or not as hot next year. There's always got to be something hotter for money to flow into, because all the big people make money on the flow. They don't make money just sit buying and holding. They make money on the flow and rotation. So yeah, you can call it velocity of money, um, but it's got to flow. There's got to be some sort of flow. It's got to go from one thing to the next. Whatever's the worst performing asset of the year, or worst sector of the year, will likely not be the worst sector next year, because of the flow. Like all the money flowed out of it. Now there's a hole. There's opportunity for it to flow back in, and these things just keep. It's a cyclical nature of the markets, but where things are on the cycle are not always the same place. So we saw the AI thing be the hype, and now all of a sudden metals are the hype. And we've talked about it on here a number of times, Jack, how whatever the hype is, the stock market works, or the markets in general work totally opposite of the economy, because high prices bring more people into the stock market. Whatever's ripping, gold's ripping, more money's flowing into gold. AI was ripping, more money was flowing into AI. And whatever's next after after the metals, that'll be the next hype. But in the economy, whatever's hot, whatever's the high price, it usually throws cold water, ice water on buying. Usually, people are like, "Oh, yeah, that's a little rich for me. I'm out." And that's not the way the stock market works. The stock market, everybody's like, "Oh, I got to get a piece of Google. It's at all-time highs. I'm missing out." And
FOMO
yeah, creates FOMO.
creates
And but
FOMO.
but that's how they work opposite to each other. So using all these economic indicators and signals and things like that to try to predict the stock market it's a fool's game. Is and we talk about that here on the show. So if you're new here, let us know that you're brand new to the show. We want to welcome you and kind of show you a few things, hopefully.
Yeah. Thank you for being on here today. And I think we're going to tell people about some websites and tools we use um,
Yep.
in a minute. But first, the Copper Brothers that I have, uh, going crazy. COPX. Now, I did not expect this thing to be this volatile, but it hit a low today of 91.28 and a high of 99.99. That's way more volatile than I would have expected.
And gold's having the biggest single day drop in history right now.
I'm still not coming clean on my silly putty trade on silver. Look at that. Where's that sucker at? Oh man, I can't believe it.
That is the biggest single day drop, almost 10% right there.
Hello, Eric. Thanks for showing up today. He's new. We got some new people on here. Yep.
Yeah, we're just shy of a 500-point drop on gold. Craziness.
Where's SLV? I haven't closed it out. I'm all or nothing on this one.
Oh man, you may have missed the
So
bottom.
I know. I think so. I just didn't get filled. I could have taken a little tiny profit, but like I say, I was in it to win it on this, and I'll take the loss. It wasn't that big of a trade money wise, capital wise. I'll do it again at higher prices. What I
Yeah,
was doing, everybody, was a debit spread to the downside.
yeah.
Yeah,
Jack jumped on a
I
debit spread
lost.
here, and so well, you didn't lost yet.
Not yet.
You're out till next week, right?
No, I'm out
Next.
till tomorrow. That's the
Oh,
problem. I screwed this trade
oh
up
yeah.
a couple of times.
You were trying to get out till next week, but
Trying to get out. Yeah.
you
Not reading
only.
things right. Not paying attention.
Yeah, sometimes when we get a little hyperactive, we tend to misplace our position. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were,
I've done that a couple times.
if I
The
remember right,
102 and the 150.
100.5.
Yeah.
That's you're sitting right at the money right now.
Yeah. The thing is though, it's tough to get, it was so close. My exit was $1.20 and it just was right there. And I just wasn't getting filled. It was weird. It was like had a lot of price elasticity right in there and trades going off all over the place, but I just could not get my spread closed. Good till cancel on my limit. And
You know what
I
I
think like
noticed?
you mentioned that with spreads, with debit spreads, that it's been weirder. There's too much softness in the middle, and it's been tougher
Yeah,
to get out.
especially on high IV things. When the let's see if they've got IV on here. I don't see it. Yeah,
I'm
implied
not
vol.
going to
There it is.
roll out here, Bodine. I'm going to do it at a higher price. And Mike, I'm not saying this is the top. I'm just saying that I'm stubborn, and I'm going to go back in, step back in the ring, and put a debit spread to the downside. Put spread on this. I don't think it's going to hold.
Yeah, I
So I
think
got one going, but I really need this thing to come off today and tomorrow, come down, bust through 99. And even then, it hit 95. I still didn't get filled.
yeah, I think these high IV numbers are what's keeping you from getting filled. And they're just keeping the premium juiced into it, and they're going to
Yeah.
suck it. Like it's going to be a really steep
Yeah.
curve tomorrow as we
Yeah.
get to OPEX.
There's a lot of stuff that's holding up stupid. The options I saw on VRT are way too high priced relative to uh, me coming out of it. I think I sold I don't have my book here, 190s maybe.
Now, also interesting, we talked about how Mag Sevens, you know, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Tesla, Nvidia, we're all getting those daily options along with AVGO and IBIT, the 3 times a week options, I should say. They did that for silver too, but I didn't see any press release about silver getting these daily options.
I mean, either. I noticed that when I went to put that trade on, um, that it had all these little intra week, and I never saw any press release about it either. Does gold have these
And gold has had
mini
them
weeklies
for
or whatever they're calling them? What are they
gold has had,
calling them?
I don't know what 3 times, I don't know.
Yeah. Little 2 days or 3 days or mini weeklies or whatever the hell.
Gold has had it for 2 years,
Oh,
but
wow.
silver hasn't. Gold got them when IWM got them, or shortly after IWM got them. And, it was IWM, and then IWM and SPY and QQQ all went to daily. And my friend Scam Likely calling me. So we've got dailies on the indexes. Then GLD has the 3 times a week, and it's had 3 times a week for a long time. But they just added SLV 3 times a week, along with Bitcoin 3 times a week, AVGO 3 times a week, and then all the Mag 7s like Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Google, Tesla, NVIDIA. They've all got 3 times a week now. So this presents more opportunities, Jack. And we were, I don't know necessarily the opportunities that I'm going to find because we haven't had this before, at least not on single stocks.
Well, the way I see it, immediately jump to mind is just constantly selling cash secured puts.
Yeah, it gives you opportunity to
mean-
catch that fast decay every 2 days.
Now, the just people, a little tip to know is the time decay kicks in the most in the last week of a monthly option. There used to just be monthlies, and that last week time decay would really eat at it, especially if it's out of the money. And so that's kind of just guessing. I got to compare prices again. When we first started, you say, do you make more doing options weekly versus monthly, 4 times versus 1 time a month? And yeah, you can. Now we got to see, can you make it 3 times a week, more than once a week? And that right there, that would say yes. That IV curve structure would tell you that you're better off selling them every week. But now with these intra week, it doesn't even tell you that. It hasn't caught
Yeah.
up yet, right?
Yeah, we don't have like less than a week. Like
No.
what's the IV structure?
Yeah, like a
And
2 day. Yeah. 2 day a week, 10 days. The platforms are pretty outdated when CBOE introduces new products or NASDAQ introduces new products. It takes a while. They're listed, but there's not just good data in there yet.
oh, look, that's interesting. So look at on the second, the IV is 100%, but on the fourth, the IV is 114%. But on the sixth, it's 120%. So there's actually an IV ramp.
Yeah.
And the sixth, the weekly, has the highest IV compared to those new options. Like
Well, the
tomorrow's is
six
130.
is your
Tomorrow's is
regular Friday. Yeah.
yeah, but say the regular Friday has the highest prices relative to the
That shouldn't be the case. If they want more activity in these, they're going to have to,
let's this is interesting conversation though too, because this is not universal. Like if we go to IBIT, it may or may not be the same case. Like IBIT here, we've got roughly 50% IV for tomorrow. We've got 40%, and it does dip on Monday. Tuesday, 40, almost the same on Wednesday, not, and then Friday, almost the same. So IBIT is kind of flat compared to SLV that actually dips and spikes back up next Friday. And then we could look at something like Tesla. So this is not universal. This is one of those where there's no best answer. A lot of traders like to say, well, I want the best answer for every ticker. Is it better to sell weekly? Is it better to sell monthly? Is it better to sell, daily? There's no best answer. This is Jack and I have like gone through this a few different times, is that there's not always selling weekly is not always the best solution. It's not always the best bang for the buck. Right here tomorrow, 60% on Tesla for tomorrow, down to 40% for Monday, 40%, 43% on Wednesday, and 45% ish for next Friday.
strange.
So it kind of dips, it kind of pops down and flattens out too on Tesla. Of course, we had earnings yesterday, so that's going to be in these options right here as it tries to settle in on where it's going to close for the week. Right there.
Well, that was at 444, right? Yesterday after the close.
It was crazy yesterday after the close, and then Now it's dead at 420. So what that means for my TSLL is rolling premium, baby.
That's all it means. Yep, me too. I got the 1650s sold and the $16 puts sold on T Sizzle. So we'll have to see if I get lucky tomorrow.
Yeah, look at that price action last night. It was ripping up until about the point they announced they were discontinuing two cars. And then
Well, that's
not so good.
probably great news. I got to think that's great news. I was talking about that yesterday that they have to change the narrative before the earnings call. When they come out, they got to get off cars because everybody knows they're not going to be able to sell. They keep selling less and less and less, and China's flooding the market with cheap ones, and so they got to get out of that and turn it into robotics. And I guess now they want everybody's going to have their own robot for what is it, $1,800 now?
18,000, 20,000, I think is what it was.
Was it 18 grand?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
20 grand, I think is what he's trying to hit.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's probably double that at least. And but
We'll
they're
see.
changing the narrative. They're gonna close, or they're gonna not close, but they're going to discontinue the car lines for the Model S and the Model X. That's you know, the more luxury cars that they produce. They're going to discontinue those lines in Fremont, California, and convert that over to producing the humanoid robot Optimus, starting later this year. So that
What if the Optimus doesn't recognize you and tries to attack you?
I don't know, man. Or
If you
we'll
got it
see.
set up on that home defense mode, like when you go to sleep, it guards your house. What if you get up to get some lemonade in the middle of the night and the thing attacks you?
Sounds like a liability lawsuit to me. Anyway,
Or the robo dog?
we'll see what happens. I don't know. We could speculate all day on what might happen. It sounds like a Terminator movie, really.
Yeah, I know.
Something between iRobot and Terminator 2.
I hope it doesn't look scary is the only thing. You know what I mean? They can make it look okay. They don't have to make it look like it's from a Terminator movie.
Well, have you seen it? I mean, it's let's see.
I don't know if I want to see it. Some of these things you can't unsee.
It just looks like let me see. It's not
If
very
the, if the
it's not,
designers of the Cybertruck are the ones designing this robot, I don't know how that's going to be bad.
and that's what it looks like right now.
Oh man,
That's the Gen 2 version. They're supposed to debut Gen 3 here in a couple months, Elon was saying. But that's what it looks like right now.
it should have an expression or something. That's terrifying.
It just has a space helmet.
It looks like the alien. Remember that alien thing in the
Yeah.
movie?
I think they should make it more like a Johnny Five. Yeah.
Or a C3PO, like they're saying, or
Make this
R2D2 was cool.
get this little guy.
Yeah.
Johnny Five. I got a Johnny Five on my desk.
Put some clothes on it. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's too
I've,
weird.
I've wanted a robot ever since I saw that Short Circuit movie. Anyway,
TSLL, baby. Take a look.
yes.
Am I gonna get it at 1650 or am I gonna get it at 16?
Woo! It's right on the. I mean,
I
you got to
think
hold.
the 1650s are coming my way.
You got a day left, so we'll see.
The 16s, maybe not.
This thing could bounce by tomorrow. We're in that zone where
Yeah.
I remember what I said yesterday is I thought we might dip and then rip. Here's the dip. Are we going to get the rip? That's the question.
I sold the 2050 calls on some of my long position, not all of it.
And look at
So I
that,
kind of
Jack.
got it boxed in.
Yesterday I said I thought we might get the dip on earnings. We're just a couple bucks away from actually hitting the support line. Then I thought we were going to rip. So, funny enough, this might play out right here. Might get another
Yep.
one right.
Would it be, how shocked would everybody here be if the SpaceX IPO came public in June?
I I don't know. I'm not going to buy it. There's no way I'm buying it.
Me neither. the problem with it is it's going to be, it's already been, and this is not just SpaceX, this is a lot of these, is that they sit on these private platforms for years and keep getting their valuation raised, and they keep raising money, and people don't realize how many times these companies have been raising money. What is it, Databricks, two some years, just sitting there raising money. So by the time it does do an initial public offering, it's priced way too high. The valuation is just ridiculous. So
Well, they've already diluted it out to the point where
yeah,
what the public actually buys is just this minuscule
piece of the
exposure.
top. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so ridiculous. And if you go back and look at some of the pricings, you just see a chart that makes no sense, where they keep showing, they've raised the valuation with each new 90-day offering or whatever. You can check it all out at Equity Zen and what's the other one I use? Forge. And that's the problem. I wanted to do Polymarket and a couple of these on the private platform, but it's just like a stock price. It just keeps going up. Anytime there's going to be another offering, it's priced stupid high. And then you got to wait. You still don't know when or if it's ever going to do an IPO. So it's still extremely risky and extremely getting way too pricey. So who knows how much upside SpaceX could have after they've squeezed every ounce of valuation and priced it up and did the dog and pony show and got as much as possible.
Now, what was interesting last night is I listened to the shareholder meeting for Tesla, and of course, right, and the shareholders voted on asking a question about SpaceX equity, and the board just dismissed it immediately. They were like, "This is off topic. Please stay on topic to Tesla earnings when you ask questions," and they didn't even give it lip service. So there you go.
Yeah, who
Comparing me to
knows?
Kramer, huh? Oh my gosh.
You and Kramer. Wow. Yeah, he'll probably. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past Musk. He might just roll the whole thing into Tesla and do a an offering of Tesla stock and debt.
Yeah, some social media is ablaze with the idea that they'll do a merger of the two companies. I just don't
Yeah.
see that actually happening.
No, me neither.
Uh,
No way.
One, probably the biggest reason is Musk does not like the corporate structure of Tesla. So there's no way, no possible way I see that he would put SpaceX into that corporate structure.
Yeah, and there's no way Morgan Stanley and J.P. Morgan are giving up their fee. They're never going to tell him to do that. They're going to demand he go public, if
Yeah.
he wants to do anything with it. So I think those are going to be the big money makers. People talk about a record year for the valuations of companies going public, $1 trillion IPO, this and that. The money makers are going to be the brokerage firms that bring them public. Morgan Stanley, Goldman, J.P. Morgan, those three.
Well,
And
XAI
even
is a different
Robinhood. Even
XAI is a
Robinhood's
different
trying to
company,
get in.
Bodine. XAI is a different company. So the shareholders during the shareholder meeting requested that Tesla make a substantial investment in XAI since they're rolling out Grok into the cars. And they wanted to ensure that XAI had funding to keep development of Grok to improve the system. This is just shareholders a request. And Elon, during the shareholder meeting back in whatever it was, November, was like, "Do you guys really want to do this?" And everyone's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, we'll do it." So they announced that they did a $2.5 billion cash injection into XAI. So how does that return money to them? I don't know. But Grok does run in Teslas. You can talk to Grok while you're driving. To me, it's been
Wow.
lackluster. It just hasn't sparked my interest at all. It's just like, I don't know. I haven't really been interested.
I saw that the fully self-driving vehicle will not have pedals or a steering wheel.
That's true. Yeah.
That kind of scares me. I always want to think I could grab the wheel. Even if I'm in the back seat, I'll jump over and dive on it.
Well, the big thing they said during the earnings call last night was that they are transforming from a traditional transportation company into an autonomous transportation company.
Smart. You got to quit talking about EVs. That the quicker they get off of that story and on to automation and robotics, the better off they're going to be.
They're transitioning to a fully autonomous transportation company. So
Speaking of which, I saw Joby is doing $1 billion offering.
Joby.
Part of it is to handle the lawsuit they got with Archer, and the other is their burn rate has been so high that that they need to raise this billion through a combination of debt and equity to just keep the lights on. I mean, that burn rate must just be brutal, and they're projecting it must be higher. So they're trying to do the stock piece, bringing that to the public at 11 and a half bones per share. I don't see it happening. I think dumped right there. They're telling you that it won't handle $11.50. So maybe they'll reprice the offering of stock. And I don't know
That's
how the debt piece is going to work, but they're diluting it by $1 billion. Oh, I don't know what's the market cap here, 9 billion. So 10%, and the stock's down 18% on the news. Whew.
that's where we can go. Right back to the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah. Wow. Crazy bad news there.
I wouldn't touch that thing. So I have a pilot's license. I've been in the aviation realm for quite a few years. The the whole concept of a quad and flying cars and all that stuff just doesn't fit into our current aviation system. It's like it's a great dream, but it doesn't fit into the regulatory system that we have. There's a lot of crap got to change for this to actually work. And you know, the FAA essentially killed drones. Why don't we have drones that deliver stuff? Is because the FAA has done everything in their power to prevent that from even working because it doesn't fit in the aviation system. It just we can't make it happen here. There's places that it works other places, but we just can't make it happen here because of regulation burden. And undoing the regulation burden is just not realistic. At least not with tremendous effort and bipartisan cooperation, which is just not something that happens in this country. So I just don't see it happening in any reasonable time frame. And I don't think Joby or Archer can survive the cash burn that it's going to take to get through that regulatory hurdle.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this thing could be a big failure. With the
So,
lawsuit, too, it's just going to be stinky.
and it just, it just doesn't. Neither one of these is in a position to make it work.
I know. BlackRock can extend these guys a line of credit, though, which Joby doesn't have access to.
And you can say they have the deals in the rest of the world, and it's gonna, whatever. But I just, I think one accident is gonna do like it did here in the U.S. and put the
Mhm.
kibosh on aviation, and it's just not gonna work. I'm a high skeptic of this. You can believe whatever story you want to believe, but I'm highly skeptical of this ever working.
Yeah.
And most of the rest of the world is actually more regulation heavy about aviation than it is even here. So anyway,
Yeah, we'll see. Good idea, but will it come to fruition? Who knows?
yeah, I'm highly skeptical on that. Just having messed with aviation stuff myself, highly skeptical.
But that doesn't matter to me whether it really comes to fruition or not. This is not a long-term play. Neither one of these. I don't trade Joby anymore, but I'm trading Archer now. I got some puts against it and calls, and I'm long a little, but it's not going to be a long-term deal. I'm just putting it through the wheel, and then I'm going to move on.
Now, I like it. You're skeptical on FSD, but I can actually go get in my Tesla and have it drive me home without touching anything.
Wow.
So that's already here and it's already on the road and it's already legal.
Is it legal if you're hammered to have it drive you home?
As long as you don't get pulled over.
I mean, that'd be interesting. If you got pulled over and you were in the back seat you
But
know.
you can't be in the back seat. Like it does keep track of you. Like right now, you got to be paying attention.
Oh,
Um,
you do?
yeah, if you're not paying attention, it'll pull over and stop. Like if you go to
Oh,
sleep,
forget that. Yeah,
um,
no, I thought you could just crash in the back and have it take
we're
you to Jacksonville.
we're not there yet.
Oh man, forget it. Forget that. If I got to pay attention, I might as well drive.
Yeah, well,
Is the wheel turning in front of you?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Nah,
When we're
no
in
thanks,
Jacksonville,
man.
I can take you for a ride and show you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna race. I just don't know what we're gonna. I'm gonna drive yet, but I know we're racing on the beach.
It works the pedals and it turns the wheel and it
Wow.
does a freaking good job too. Like it's better than most people I've ever ridden with. It pays attention. I mean, it's paying attention 360, 10 times a second or something like that. Watching every camera. So
Yeah,
it sees
yeah,
stuff before people can see stuff.
yeah.
Anyway, um,
Dennis, I use it every day, not just Tuesday. Tuesday's just my day for those credit spreads that I do. But in addition to that, I do them all the time with Cash Flow Agent.
what do you think, Jack? Pop or drop?
Well, I think it's drop. Uh, it's this is not the right team to push it higher. Some of these guys are facing intense scrutiny. Microsoft, uh, this guy Cook, he's got to go. And what's so funny about Meta is they're cheering on the AI investment when 3 months ago they were complaining about all the AI investment. Look at this thing, man. That is that is something else. When this thing goes down 12%, that's a monster move considering its market cap. That's huge.
What's crazy? Anybody that's been following me, Microsoft is right in the target zone. Let's see. Pop it back over onto this chart. Look at that. I had this bubble I drew back here in, gosh, when was it? I drew that all the way back in October, and we're right down in the bubble, getting close
Yeah.
to the middle of the bubble.
The only thing I see good about this is once it stops going down, it's got a beautiful gap it's going to have to fill in.
Oh, I
I
mean, I
like it.
expect support to be right here, like
Yeah.
this. We're almost to it. It's taken freaking half a year to get here, but we're just if anybody's shorting Microsoft right now, that's not the time to be doing it. Should be waiting for the opportunity to go long here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were long from up here, like you made a bad decision. But we're about to bottom out, I think. And this will be similar to the way Meta did. What this is a big measured bounce, just like Fly and MRAM and all those others. This is the big retrace right here. This might be the big opportunity. I thought we would bottom out here. We did. We ripped. We got right to, we got within like $5 of the target I had up here, and then retrace. And we're within $10 of the target down here. Next move up. If we can
What are you
hold
gonna
this right here.
What are you gonna have to see there when it holds it? A couple of higher highs in a 3 day period, or what's going to make you say it's time to game on?
Well, unfortunately, the resistance is all the way up here. And that's what I got to see really is we got to come back up here and get through that resistance, just like Meta. Meta did this big drop right here back in Thanksgiving. We came up, found resistance at that roadmap line, retraced. This went a little deep, and I was really cautious about it. But then here on earnings, we're busting through higher high. This thing has a target of 1100 to 1300. But the thing is, I can't trade it because anytime I trade Meta, I lose money. I've proved that over and over and over since it's
Me
gone
too.
public.
I've never traded it. Maybe years and years ago, but I haven't traded it for 10 years.
I've
And
probably traded a dozen times and always lost money. It's
I
one of
hate
those
it.
like touch the hot stove and lose money. I just can't.
I hate this thing. And
Me and Meta don't.
it's just so funny to me how investors, shareholders are cheering on the spend that they're doing. When 3 months ago they were wanted to kill them for spending all this money on AI. And
Yeah,
now they're like, yeah, spend more, borrow more, spend.
Yeah, it's like,
Either
oh, we're going to
going
spend
two
more money
ways.
on AI and we gap down. And then, oh, we're going to spend more money, even more money on AI and it's
Yeah.
gap up.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. So I don't know. People are finicky with these two. With Microsoft and Meta got some really finicky shareholders. But I'm not a Meta fan, never have been. When it was the old Facebook, I thought it was for junior high girls, like they used to have a yearbook in school, right? That was now it was Facebook, but from involving from that to this, as he just switches ideas whenever he wants. The actual metaverse was a terrible thing for him.
Yeah, that's right
So
there. Like that was the
yeah,
metaverse.
yeah,
And
bad
who's
idea.
who's been on the metaverse?
Were you on the metaverse?
Are we virtual, Jack? Are you and I
Uh,
virtual?
not yet.
Are we AIs?
Not yet. Hmm.
But I don't even have a Facebook account. I don't have a Instagram account. I don't mess around. I don't have anything. Like, what's the last thing you posted on Facebook, Jack?
I never have. Well, I wouldn't even know how. It doesn't even look good. I saw my niece had it. It just looks like the platform just looks nah.
Yeah, I don't even like I look at it and I'm just like, this looks like chaos to me. And
It's for grandmothers now. Yeah, Chris says. Yeah, I know a lot of people, they want to reconnect with their old high school buddies and people they knew. High school for me was probably the worst 4 years of my life. I don't want to know anybody from high school. Like, forget it if that's what it's for. I don't. I don't want to know about it.
yeah, besides my brothers, the only people I hang around that I was in high school with, my wife and her sister. That's about it. That's about
Okay.
it. So, anyway, the rest of the people I went to high school with, nobody ever really treated me well. So
Yeah, I
similar experience to you, except I was the
hated it.
nerd. So different reason.
Now, did they lock you in your own locker and stuff like that in the
No, man,
hallway?
I was a second degree black belt in karate, so people didn't
You
f with
kicking
me. Like
ass in there? Yeah,
people didn't
okay.
f with me, but they certainly weren't kind to me.
Yeah,
There's a reason I got a second degree black belt in karate.
good, good. Yeah.
Middle school was a different story. That's when I was getting, pummeled and tripped and, all sorts of. But by high school, people didn't F with me. So,
I got a handful of tight friends that I grew up with. Not didn't meet them in high school. I knew them way before high school. Met them first, second, and third grade. These guys, and still know them. And I don't hang out with them on Facebook. We just call each other.
what the heck is a phone call?
Yeah, I know. Thinking about going back to the landline. I get these spam calls on this thing now. It's just driving me nuts. You can't get that on the good old landline.
Yeah. And, you know, um,
Can you get a landline?
I don't know. That's what I was about to say. You might get a virtual landline.
No.
AT&T just sent us a notice that our business, we have a landline for our business, and they were going to terminate that.
Oh, wow. That's bad news. I'd love to have an old-fashioned phone with the buttons on there.
Well, you can still get that. It just
Yeah?
got to
You
plug
need
it
a
up to a cell
landline.
phone. You just
Yeah.
got to plug it up to a cell phone.
I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to do that.
I got one of those long cords. You hold it up to your earpiece.
I love those things. Yeah.
Plugs into my cell phone.
We had those in the trading department. They had like 25-foot cords on them, and they had a little thing that you could rest your head on it while I had the two phones all the time. And that was awesome, but no
You
more.
just put one behind each ear and just prop it up and just sit there.
Yeah. We didn't have headsets. We had the good old phone.
All right.
So let's talk for a minute. I told the good peoples that we were going to review some websites that we like.
Yeah.
And as far as we'll start off maybe with trading platforms. Uh, we like the old Tasty Trade.
It Tasty
That's
Trades.
been
I mean,
good.
charting platform right here, Trading View. I mean, I've been using that all day.
Yeah,
I
let's
like.
talk. Let's start right there. That's tradingview.com. They got a free version, a paid version. Both of us use that. They even have this portfolio thing they've added. They're adding new features all the time. Trading View is awesome. You can put your own stuff on there like you see and do it however you want.
I use the premium version right here. Right now, it's not on sale. It's expensive, but if you wait till usually Easter, they're gonna have a sale where you can get it for $200 a year. They had a Black Friday sale, a Christmas sale. They had all these sales back just a couple months ago, but they'll bring it back again. They usually do like 2-3 times a year. It's like 75% off for the year. And I would highly advise waiting for the sale. Otherwise, you should probably do monthly and do whatever one that can get you by on alerts until one of these sales comes up. Jump on the monthly and just do the basic, or try to make it work with the free version. That's what I highly recommend. And
Yeah, I
but
love that too. Another one you guys want to check out is optionwheeltracker.ai. Can you type that one in there?
yeah, 1 second, I'm trying to pop it up here, and
I-
optionwheeltracker.ai. Right.
.ai, option singular wheel tracker. So this is a good alternative to the PXO software we use.
It's you can sign up for free right here. I've
I
not
get a
used
lot of
this.
questions about if I don't want to spend $2,000 on the PXO software, what could I use? This is just going to do tracking. It's not going to do the option strike price selection for you, but this is pretty good. If you don't want to spend the $2,000, this is a really good way to go.
Now, for anybody that wants to get on the PXO,
Yeah, drop the link. That's really, I think, the best because it picks the strike price for you. It's all, don't make me think. It picks the strike price for you. Then you just got to go in and do the trade on your trading platform and then go back to PXO to log the trade, and the trade log shows you where you're at with everything, your money, profit, premium.
and actually with the newest version they have, Jack, you can actually link your Tasty Trade
I saw that.
account and place the trade.
Yeah,
And that
I
Levi
saw
trade, that Levi trade we put on, look at that baby.
Yeah, I like it.
Dropped down to 1917, but it's rallying back, and my 1850 gonna go out for full profit tomorrow.
Yeah. So Tony L asked, could you folks pick a trade to show your wheel setup? We'll come back to this before we leave, but we sold puts, 1850 strike price puts on Levi's that expires tomorrow, and that cost $1,850. Tony, that was a great trade.
It was 1850
But,
in margin, cash that they reserved. It actually gave you credit. It didn't cost anything. It gave you credit on entry, and reserved that 1850. But so far, that's going out for full profit for me right there.
Good
Beautiful.
stuff. Another one I like is optionstrat.com. I'll make a list of these. I don't know if I could send them to Blake. Put out there.
Optionstrat.com.
Yeah, that's a great tool. You could start off there.
And just one for fun and general stuff. I like this marketchameleon.com. They have a lot of option scanners, all for free. You don't have to join. You don't have to click the button to sign up or anything like that. I don't even log in. I don't even have an account here. I just come in here and use these scanners and stuff. And one of the things we talk about how to find good wheel candidates is popping in here on the stocks tab, 52-week highs, letting this load up, coming over to the option daily volume and sorting to the top, and everything that has more than 10,000 options a day, start digging through here and looking for potential candidates. Now, I don't have like $400 a share I can buy, so everything above $100 for me is out already. And then some of these charts aren't going to look great, even though they're at 52-week highs. So this is a place you can come and start building your list for stuff to look at for doing the wheel. Not all this is going to be great stuff, but they have high option volume. above 10,000. That's the average daily option volume too. That's not just like today they just happen to trade 10, more than 10,000. This is the average. And you have multiple pages of this all the way down here to till you get to about 10,000. Once you get below 10,000, the options are less liquid and you're not going to get as good a premium. So all these tickers that are in here though are great wheel candidates because they're in an uptrend. They're making 52-week highs. They're the highest it's been in a whole year. They trade lots of options. So those are good stocks to potentially use in the wheel.
Mm-hmm. Great place to start. I also use barchart.com. This has a great portfolio tracker. You could find all the 52-week high and low, gap up, gap down, pre-market movers. That's been a really good one. And if you have a portfolio, I think one of my favorites is Snowball Dash Analytics. Yeah. This is just really awesome. If you're doing dividends and you have a portfolio that you manage, this has nothing to do with the wheel. It does not track options, none of that stuff. But if you got a portfolio in general or a dividend portfolio, this has been amazing. I use this a lot.
And the PXO is supposed to have a dividend tracker piece. They're
Yeah.
working on it right now.
You can type them in, but I haven't seen that it tracks it for you.
They're actually supposed to, if you link your account, I haven't I don't have anything that pays me huge dividends right now. I don't have a dividend based account, but it's supposed to be able to track your dividend stuff. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's an add-on or what, but they were showing off on a webinar this weekend some of the new features, and that was one of the features they were talking about was it being able to track income and stuff. The income machine and the Wealth OS dashboard.
Eventually, I think the PXO is going to have everything you would need all in one place. But right now, I use bar
And you,
chart,
you see,
snowball.
you can actually link up your accounts, not just your trading accounts, but your actual bank accounts too, and track your net worth and your budget and your income and your wants, needs, savings, dividends, all that sort of stuff is in here under their Wealth OS dashboard. It's kind of crazy. They actually raised the price when they introduced this, but my link still gets you the cheap price for now.
Yeah, I used your link.
So anyway, there you go. Missed half of the webinar today. How do you get this recording today? It is simulcast to YouTube. You can go to Financial Wars, and Blake will probably post that link in there. You can catch back up.
Yeah.
Right there. So Snowball, that's pretty good for dividend investing and tracking.
Yep, that's
I know
really
a couple
good.
people that use it.
Yeah, I love it. Really gives you a deep look into what you're doing. If you're managing a portfolio, otherwise it's probably not worth it. And then in addition to that, just Robinhood, Tasty Trade, and Schwab.
Yeah, just general platforms. Robinhood. I think it's the only place that charges no commissions on general options trades that I know of. There may be another one. I know like Tradier, if you subscribe, you pay the monthly fee, you get as many option trades as you want for, the monthly fee. But Robinhood, now the bad thing here is that you get front ran. Like, but when you use limit orders, you either get the fill or you don't. And you get the price you put in. So I don't really people complain about the fills you get on Robinhood, but if you get filled at the limit order and you put in the price, what's there to complain about?
I tell you, this last 2 weeks on every platform, I've been putting, when I sell a put or a call, I've been doing it at the market. And in every case but one, I've got a massive price improvement. Even with Robinhood, they give me a tremendous price improvement over the bid. So I don't know. You can front run it. They're just front running it out to the third and fourth, fifth digit. So those fractional pennies, I could care less about that. I just want to get it like you say. If you want to get it on a limit, you're getting it on a limit. Who cares if you get front run? And if you're doing price improvement, like they're doing for me, but I'm fine with that too.
So I see a couple questions about what does front running mean? It means you put in your order, I want to buy for $1, right? So somebody front running you goes and buys it from somebody else for 0.9950 and then sells it to you for $1. So you could have gotten this price because that price was available in the market, but you got filled at this price.
And people spend, I'd say, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands to get a connection closer to wherever the signal originates in New York, just so they can see it a millisecond faster than you.
So somebody made on your trade, somebody was the middleman and made 0.005, buying it from somebody else and then selling it to you.
And Robinhood
And Robinhood
sells
helps
that
them do
order
it.
fee, helps them do it so that they don't charge you, right? So there's a trade-off there. But I've not seen. I hear the rumors and myth about the bad fill at Robinhood. I have not had that experience at all. Mine has been good.
So
And
that's what front running is. And Jack is a former market maker. Um, I think it's pretty under control these days compared to what it used to be.
yeah, oh yeah, it's totally under control and regulated to some degree, and it has to be reported, and so it's transparent. You'll see it, how much they made from it. But Schwab does it too. It's just not really known in the industry, but they almost all do it because they used to make markets themselves. They used to all have a four-letter market maker ID, and when they bought and sold, they'd settle their trades with who do you clear through, and they cleared through themselves, and that's how it went. But now, with this open market, they don't do a lot of market making anymore themselves, and so it's easier just to do the payment for order flow.
Yeah, I know that E-Trade used to do what they called an internal fill. Um, they'd shop it inside before they shop it outside. I don't know
Yeah,
if that was same sort of thing or not, but
not too clean. I'll tell you what I am seeing right now is Tesla. Maybe you were right about the drop and pop because it's lifted significantly off of its low of 1414.62. It's at 424. So it's up 10 bones off the low and still down seven. Uh, but this would be a perfect time for Blake to show him the slickest Tesla trade of all time.
Hey, Jack, you know I'd love to hit him with it.
Hit him.
Hit him.
that
I'm gonna do it.
and that potentially
Don't
fires
hurt him
off.
though. Don't hurt him, Hammer. Please don't hurt him, but you can hit him with it.
What were you about to say, Jeffrey?
I was gonna say that trade potentially fires off this afternoon in like an hour, right? Like an hour and a
Yes, it
half.
does.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it does. That's a crazy thing about it. It's a Thursday afternoon trade. And if we get the green light, there's no guarantee we'll have a trade. But if we don't, it's to keep us out of the ruts and protect us. But if we do get the green light this afternoon, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong with Tesla, and we'll be in a real short term hottie. So show them how it's done.
Let's do it, Jack. I'm
All
all
right.
about it.
Yeah.
Here we
Thank you
go.
for being here, guys. Stay tuned. This is really cool.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Here we go.
This is one of my favorite things. I love this type of a trade.